individual, clientele. But I do have some standard ones that is just good for, our well-being and, flushing out our colon, cleaning our blood, like I said, detoxing the male prostate, flushing out the inner lining of the female's uterus and what have you. So I have a couple of products here that I do have in inventory, and I have the Wamidazole bitters. It is a herbal tonic, but it is infused with the Trinidad rum, which is an alcohol. And I also can make it without that in an herbal compound, just capsule. But you reap more of the health benefits when it hits your system in a liquid form. But I just want to let you know this is a church that it has a Trinidadian rum in it. But the bitters, it's good to remove any parasites from your intestines. Most of my clients are older black males that are trying to detox their prostate. Also, it removes, it cures your blood, but also it's supposed to cure you from malaria. But I haven't had a person that had malaria that took my product and cured them from malaria, what have you. So there's a lot of herbs from Honduras, Jamaica, and St. Lucia that I use, and I have to get them imported into the States. But these herbs that are infused in the rum will get abstract, and then you reap the health benefits. A lot of people that don't drink alcohol will infuse it with water or what have you, so they can still reap the health benefits, but not really feel the alcohol. But again, I customize everything, and depending on my client, because everyone's different, and moving forward to our different blood types, so if you have, blood type A like me versus you have type O, us eating watermelon may benefit me more than it may benefit her. Like it might be harmful, to her or what have you. So I'm moving forward in a higher level of learning people's blood types and like what types of foods they need to eat and how to flush out their system, but also put the food in there to help them with their blood type and help them clean it. So that's where I'm at right now in my healing journey. So also I have a healing salve, which is right here, and you only use it externally. I call it the J butter, and it basically cures like any skin disorder, like eczema, acne, any scars. If you have any fungus on your skin or what have you, like ringworms, it's gonna help cure that. It is holistic, so it's very thin, like a coconut oil like texture. So you're gonna have to constantly put it on more than often than a cream that you get from a pharmaceutical. So that's the only downside. But other than that, if you want to just go, pretty much a holistic path and making sure you're not putting a lot more chemicals back in your system, I would recommend the healing salve. And the person, my herbalist that taught me how to make it, he originally made it for men's shavings, for like an aftershave, and it has that antifungal on it. So you can use it as that as well. Again, I have a couple of herbs on the table. Right now, I have my main one that's selling is called the Viral Busters, and the Viral Busters will eliminate any virus from your system. We're talking COVID, a stomach virus, HPV, herpes, HIV, and if your diet is right, then this will help you flush out the virus out of your system. Everyone's going to ask me, well, how long does that take? It depends on your diet, it depends on your weight, and it depends on your health. So there's a lot of many factors of it. So I can say anywhere from 3 months to 9 months is the time frame to continuously take the viral busters and streamline the diet. So that's the part where a lot of my clients fail. They'll buy products from me and they'll take it, but again, they're eating cupcakes, they're eating a lot of meats, they're they're eating, they're having a lot of alcohol intake, and so that prolongs your healing. And so again, I go back to purifying the blood. So I have an energy blood cleanser as well that basically it cleans your blood, but lowers your cholesterol, your blood pressure. It cures like acne. Um, it just overall helps like thin your blood a little bit so you don't get blood clots, per se. So the Energy Blood Cleanser is one of my good sellers as well. I have a lot of women as my clients more than males, and all my women want to lose weight. So I have a weight loss combination, which is my colon flush, which will flush out your colon, a total cleanse that will detox your major organs, and also sea moss and bladder wax. So those are three herbal compounds that will help you flush out like your system within a 3 week time frame. But again, I go back to your diet, what you put in your life, So you can take these herbs or what have you, but still be counterproductive and your healing process or your flushing out process because of what you put back in the system, So, what I tell all my clients in the beginning, always want to flush out your colon, no matter what type of disease or health issue that you have. Because if you're trying to purify your blood or if you're trying to, lower your blood pressure, it's going to be harder to do that when you feel waste in your intestines. So anything I say, as we get older, for me personally, I'm 45, going on 46, and I try on a quarterly basis to flush out my colon, just to do some type of detox, some fast, a juice therapy. I try to experiment with certain things just to kind of flush out my system. So I always tell, my friends and family, hey, you take your car, you go get a oil change every 5,000 or 3 months. So you gotta do that with your system, and your colon is your main thing. And people are like, well, I go to the bathroom every day, I release my waste. Yeah, but you still got maybe, I don't know, 10, 15 pounds in there as well. Especially if you're eating meat, consuming dairy, sugar, tobacco, caffeine, sodium, I could go on. So it's as we get older, I always recommend in the beginning, once a month, flush out your colon, 2, 3, 4 days. Um, every 3 weeks, once you get to like your health standard or you cure yourself from some type of health element, every 3 months you gotta flush it out, just like you want to flush out your car. We put emphasis on cleaning our house, cleaning our car out, and we need to put emphasis on flushing out our system. So I use that as an analogy all the time, so you can have that aha moment. Moving forward, I have another herbal compound is the parasite busters. That really helps when a lot of people consume a lot of meat, seafood, or what have you. Those have parasites in it, so that's what causes sugar cravings. So you just want a sugar craving because you have parasites in your system. So the bitters, the parasite busters, they help flush out any parasites in the system, and it's another mechanism of losing weight per se. As for the men, I have one special herbal compound called the warrior caps, which officially work on detoxing your prostate. So I have a couple of older clients, Black men, in their 50s and 60s that have inflamed prostate. And they take the warrior caps, and even their wives or their significant others call me and buying it for a 3 month supply. So I call it the natural Viagra, but I've been studying this for about 5 years. So if a male client comes to me, he goes, hey, it took me about 3 to 4 weeks to feel something, for it to come down. I know that there's other additional health issues that we need to address, like the blood circulation, again, going back to cleaning your blood. So that helps me help them. Like, okay, it took that long, but then I have some younger young male clients are like, oh, like what's going on? I mean, they're like, it's only took a week and I see the results. What's going on? I'm like, oh, you're relatively healthy. Now just keep it up. Just streamline your diet and just keep flushing out your colon. I'm putting emphasis always on flush out your colon. And so going to the women, I have 3 herbal compounds for the female reproductive system. Um, Two of them will help you in your mid-age for like menopause, balancing out your hormones, also, just helping you eliminate fibroids, endometriosis, like all any female issues. I've been taking that myself for the last 5 years as well, and I see a huge difference. And then I have a couple of more to just help women, to streamline their menstrual cycles, or help them with their hot flashes or what have you. So I've been pretty successful with the testimonies and feedback. And again, um, I'm currently taking this love energy, which is basically an overall detox. This is my only herbal compound that has 20 herbs in it, to basically detox your whole entire system. So I've been taking this for a month. So I think February 7th will be my last day of doing like this detox. And I've seen a tremendous like change in myself. Like I basically, lost 10 pounds just taking these herbs, and again, trying my best to eat healthy and have mainly raw foods, like fruits and vegetables in my system, instead of processed and cooked food. But other than that, I have a new website. I can send that to you so you can look at my different bundles, and you can also look at the individual herbal compounds that I have. And if you want to have a consultation, I can help with that as well. And because this is a special event, I'll make everything basically half price if you're interested in buying something that I have currently in inventory right now. And basically that's it. If you have any questions about the different herbal compounds or a health concern, I definitely could give you some advice or some recommendations to help you basically try to basically cure yourself. I don't have a card, but I'll give you the phone number. Mhm. And like for me, overall, I just want to let you know this was like a passion of mine, and then it turned into um, basically like a side business. So like this is, I'm gonna plan to do this when I retire from my 9 to 5 once, my young pharaohs are pretty much of age. So this is, I've been doing this for about like 20 years, but in the last 5 years, I learned about combining different herbal compounds together because I had a Western like mindset, thinking like, oh, I only can take one herb at a time, like a pharmaceutical drug, and that's not the case with herbs. I want to let y'all know that you can put, like I said, my last herbal compound has 20 herbs in it, no adverse effects or anything like that. So and I've been on my own guinea pig, and I'm still here standing. So yeah, again, you have any questions? Oh, go ahead.
So, basically, as far as our eating habits, these,
Patience. So I'm like, hey, for me, at the end of the day, there's 7 things that we need to focus on eliminating from our diet. It's going to be sodium, sugar, dairy, meat, caffeine, tobacco, and alcohol, right? So some people are just not going to give up meat. I already know that. So I'm like, okay, well then let's get rid of the carbohydrates. Let's get rid of the sugar. Oh, you don't need to have caffeine. Okay, let's have coffee. You can replace that. So what I did personally was I read, how he presented it was hilarious because he's a comedian. He teaches you how to gradually get rid of the 7 things that I listed. So what I did was in my household, I have 2 boys, and it took me a year and a half just to get rid of dairy out my house. So you want to focus on things like that. Like I wouldn't recommend going like cold turkey, like I'm just gonna get rid of all those 7 things, because we all got our vices. You know what I'm saying? So if your vice is just meat, I'm like, okay, well let's focus on the next 3 to 6 months with no caffeine. You know what I'm saying? Or let's focus on sugar, like you don't need to have sugar. So you need to focus on the things that you know that you could eliminate from your diet that's not gonna cause you any stress. And then move from there.
So what meat you talking about? Chicken, ground beef, all meats,
All meat. So right now, so right now,
seafood, all meats.
all meat. So right now, I would say if you have to eliminate any type of meat right now, would be chicken. The way it's processed is high in demand. I feel like a lot of Black females, they have fibroids and they have a lot of female reproductive issues because of how the chicken is basically raised and what it's fed. So I would say if you want to get rid of meat, get rid of chicken. The second one would be to get rid of pork. And then the third one would be beef. Even though beef will stay in our system longer than normal meats, I still recommend beef before pork and chicken. Seafood. Some people, they're like, okay, I'm gonna get rid of the beef, I'm gonna get rid of the chicken, or the turkey, and they just take the seafood to kind of gradually take themselves off of meat. That's fine, but still, a lot of seafood has a lot of mercury in it, have a lot of parasites. I call them ocean incense, the shrimp, the lobsters, the scallops, all that's just ocean incense. You can still eat it, have your seafood oils or what have you, but it's still better than you having the chicken in the pork in your system. You see what I'm saying? While you're flushing out your colon and you're still mentally preparing all this is mental. Prepare yourself mentally to start eliminating things that you put in your mouth that are basically gonna be harmful to your system. Yeah. So you gotta love yourself. You gotta heal yourself.
So no fish?
No fish. I mean, you can have fish. So like I said, I recommend all y'all read the Dick Gregory book. Cooking with Mother Nature. So what he does is like you can have a salad your first week. So it can have fish on it. It can have shrimp, chicken, whatever you want. It's a salad. You know why? Because you're having more. You're consuming more, raw vegetables and fruit in your system than meat. So if you're still gonna continue to eat meat, I say let that be the smallest portion on your plate and let the vegetables or the fruit be the biggest portion on your plate. Again, you just have to gradually do this. This is a lifestyle. You just don't do this for 3 to 6 months.
So okay, you saying all vegetables? Because I know Dr. Sabia say carrots, broccoli.
All
They
of the
not
hybrid like fruits
right.
and vegetables that he recommends that you don't consume. But again, depending on where you're at, like for me, I could go without the carrots and the corn, and the pineapples, because those are all hybrid fruits and vegetables. And I could go straight to a raw food diet, and I could go for a 3 to 5 day juice therapy and only have liquids in my system. I could do that now. I've been doing it for a while, but some people that are just getting into this, they have to gradually do it. And I'm willing to hold your hand and like walk you through that process. I've been doing this for a while. And
Yeah, I was always told that protein, you need the protein, it depends on your work level. If you're a sit home person, sit at desk type of person, the protein levels will be low. But if you're a hard work, climbing, boxing, fighting, running, the protein level has to be very high. So does it depend on your protein level, how you burn out?
So, you make a really good point. Me personally, as like a Black woman, I feel like certain proteins don't work for me. Like if I eat meat, like the chicken or seafood, it takes me longer to lose the weight. Like I have to go extra hard in the gym. I have to do more extracurricular activity for me to lose the weight that I desire for myself. But if I'm taking a protein like a 16 bean soup, a lentil soup, peanut butter and banana smoothies, I'm able to maintain the weight that I desire for myself, and I don't have to work as hard physically.
So that'll help. So like myself, because I know, I used to be into a lot of physical workout stuff too, and I was told that my protein level had to be up to maintain the salmon.
That is true. But again, you could go a plant-based protein, you could go a meat protein. So, I mean, if you're gonna be high intense in like, I don't know, you being a construction worker or, you're an athlete or have you, yes, you do need the protein, but it's gonna have to be your decision if it's gonna be plant-based or if it's gonna be meat-based. And if it's gonna be meat-based, again, I need that to be a small portion on your plate if you're trying to detox as like an older man and have more fruits and vegetables to continue to flush out your system.
I know I'm getting older than that.
Exactly. So, I mean, you might want to explore just a plant-based protein. They have texturized vegetable protein. They have a pea protein that I actually made for my youngest young pharaoh right here. When he was younger, I made his own formula out of a pea protein. I had to give him Similac or Infamil when he moved off like of nursing. I made my own protein for him. So that's something that you probably would need to think about. But again, I will go back with emphasis. We need to flush out your colon first, even if it's an over-the-counter laxative like a Docalax or senna leaves, or a super slimming tea that some women take from China. You want to flush out your colon. I have a colon flush and a total cleanse. The herbal compounds are more of a mild laxative. The over-the-counter laxatives are more high intense. They give you, excuse my friends, they give you more diarrhea, like a liquid form. The mild laxative you will flush out on a regular and release your bowels, but it will be more than normal. So you can still go to work, you can still do what you need to do. It's just going to be more that you're releasing in a solid form and not a liquid form. And that's why over-the-counter laxatives, they dehydrate your major organs. So you're constantly dehydrated. You have to take electrolytes, like coconut water, Pedialyte, Gatorade, or something to hydrate your body because you're flushing out all the water in your organs. And I don't mind people doing that at first, just to start the initial flush out process. And then you want to go to a mild laxative to where your body's trying to function on its own, because at the end of the day, whatever we put in our system, it's going to heal our body, or it's not. What's your question, Seth?
Yeah, so I hear you say you've been doing it for 20 years. When you first started, how did you go? Like, to gradually get to where you are?
Oh, that's a good question. So I used to be a sprinter. I used to run track. And so I'm from Seattle, Washington, and I would have to walk to the track field, and I would pass like this herb store called like green herb. And I would go get like honey sticks, and I was a captain. I would go get honey sticks and like ginseng, just any herbs I would ask the person there to give me energy, so I could be a sprinter. So again, my mindset was, oh my God, I can only take one at a time. So I would experiment like, oh, let me just take the ginseng, this track route. Let me just take beets powder, this track route to see, and I would just experiment on myself to see which one would work for me better. But the honey sticks really help because it's the sugar, it gets your system going. So that's how I got into like herbs. I just wanted to be a great athlete. Then I moved from Seattle to DC to go to Howard University and ran track there. And then Blue Nile. I don't know if you heard of Blue Nile. Yeah, that's where I get all my herbs from. So I go to Blue Nile now. That's like my main source of herbs. And I just been going there, the last like 25 years. Oh my gosh, yeah, 25 years. Yeah, because 24 years because I got here in 01. So I would go there and I would meet different people, different herbalists. Like I met Brother Bay, he was one of my herbalists. I met Dick Gregory. Dr. Sadie's oldest son, Asami Bowman, was my herbalist as well, that taught me how to make all these herbal compounds. He's in Honduras right now. And so I had multiple like herbalists to teach me certain things, and then I kind of just came up with my own thing, just basically keep myself, healthy. And then I have two sons. I have a 19-year-old and a 9-year-old. And I would take certain herbs during my pregnancies, after my pregnancies, to help me produce more milk because I wanted to nurse them. And so that's how I just still continue to increase my knowledge about like herbalism. Yeah, that's how I got into it.
What would you recommend for a 35-year-old man?
But again, I would recommend the colon flush, doing that. And then if you tell me that you eat meat, then I recommend the sea moss and bladderwrack because that's a mucus buster. So it's gonna eliminate any mucus in your body, which causes diseases. So like some women, I'm gonna go back to women because I know the female's anatomy better than the males, right? So, for me, when I was taking the sea moss bladderwrack, I could just tell the difference in my saliva. My saliva wasn't that thick, you know, just little small things like my skin was clearing up or what have you. So those are the two things that I would just recommend if you're just relatively healthy. But if you come at me and say, hey, I have high blood pressure and I have blood clots, I would recommend the energy blood cleansers. If you come to me and say, hey, what I'm saying, I dealt with some woman and now I have HPV, then I recommend the viral busters. And the viral busters are also good when you just have a cold or you're sick as well. Because again, the main ingredient is turmeric. And turmeric is antiviral,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying? So anti-cancer, and anti-tumor. So yeah. But again, I feel like with the American standard diet, especially for females, is they have a lot of fibroids, and at the end of the day, that's mucus. So any cysts or like mass or tumor in the body, it's going to accumulate if it can't eliminate itself. So that's why I keep going back to flush out your colon, and if you have parasites in your colon, you need to flush those out too, because then you're going to have cravings, and basically, like your intestines, and you got to get surgery and cover up the hole in your intestines, and then the cancer comes in. So again, it's all about like flushing out your system, just like you flush out your oil in your vehicles. Yeah.
Amen.
So that's what I would recommend to you. And then I have a lot of people with alcoholism, so they do take the bitters with the rum in it because they can consume the alcohol but also get the health benefits. So I have a lot of older want their cigar, they want their whiskey, and have their steak, and it's just like, oh, that's just wrong. I mean, it's not wrong, but I mean, it's just not gonna help them with the longevity of their health, right? So they drink the bitters, and then they take the warrior caps, and I tell them to basically eliminate the meat as much as possible until your prostate is not as inflamed. Yeah. You're welcome.
Okay.
I'm scheduled for Kamana next week. What is your view on that?
Again, going back to the colon flush, they're gonna give you something anyway to help you flush out. And I think it's like 2 or 3 days before, or like 24 hours before, you're gonna have to flush out anyway. So you could do a pre-flush out with a herbal compound, and then do the hard shell right before your procedure.
Okay.
Yeah.
And another thing, I cannot digest raw vegetables.
Yeah, see, so that goes back to your blood type as well. So you can talk offline. If you give me your blood type, then I could email you or text you what types of foods, raw vegetables or what have you, or fruit that is aligned to your blood type. Because you might have a unique blood type in there. That's why after my 2 sons, I don't know, like I had a constipation issue, like maybe my intestines or something were twisted. I just wasn't going to the bathroom. So that goes back for my laxative to help me keep like flushing out. I can tell by your skin. I can tell by your skin.
Yeah, and I'm a survivor. So,
Nice.
yeah, since 2012.
Okay.
And it's done wonderful things for me. And I'm also a coach. So
appreciate it.
And, the presentation is excellent, and I think,
Yeah. And then since you're a survivor, I know dandelion, like
Yeah.
fresh dandelion, not the capsules, not the
I
tea.
go out in my yard and get all my things.
And I would use that, and if I were you, I would take, little shots and put the dandelion juice in there.
Yes, ma'am.
And put it in the freezer, and that way you can just take a shot every 2 or 3 days, whenever you want to. But I know a couple of people that just take dandelion, soursop leaf tea, like the tea, and they drink that 3 times a day. And it basically cures them from, well, both of them were female breast cancer.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I order my after sauce, I have a friend in Italy,
Mhm.
and, it was expensive, but it's worth it, and I got sour sauce.
And having it in its whole state is like the best. Like right now, I'm just getting it in a powder form. But if you have a connection where you're getting it like a whole mango, like a whole sour sauce, that's really excellent. And also like I said, moringa and spirulina. So for me, I have to rotate every 3 months. Spirulina or moringa or soursop because then my body gets used to it. So I would recommend that for you too. Just continue to do what you're doing, but rotate it every 3 months so you can shock your system.
And this is, I also keep this with me at all times.
Okay, I can look at that.
This is my blood type.
And then also, I would recommend to everyone is buying chlorophyll, liquid chlorophyll, and putting a shot of that in like maybe your water bottle, like in the morning. But disclaimer is it's like a permanent marker. You don't want to get it on no lights or no nothing. Because I done seen a couple of like really nice fly outfits, messing around taking shots of chlorophyll, trying to rush out the house. But chlorophyll works. I don't like the mint flavor. Me personally, but if you like mint teas or eucalyptus, go ahead and get the mint flavor. But I accidentally bought some mint flavor chlorophyll before, and I was like, oh, this is disgusting. But just get some regular chlorophyll and take that, and that will help purify your blood too. But I don't recommend taking chlorophyll and my energy blood cleansers at the same time. It's too much for the system.
I do the Celtic, that's a pinch of the Celtic sea salt.
Yeah, that's gonna be good for your digestive system.
Yeah.
Okay.
No more acid reflux, all gone.
Oh, okay.
All gone.
Kill thyself. Yes, sir.
Okay, look, I know if y'all have any more questions, Juanita gonna be here still. We getting ready for the second part of the presentation. If you have any questions, I'm gonna set her stand out there. After the whole entire presentation, you can go talk to her, amen? And she gonna pass out cards
Thank you.
for her. Y'all help move that.
Oh, you can tell them they want to try it. I have some samples for them.
Let's hit the power button.